Alright, so this is the lecture number 103 and we are solving the problems related to recursion and backtracking, and in this question we are going to solve this particular question, which is getting the all indexes of any element inside the array. Like previously we have seen getting the first index and getting the last index. In this particular video we are going to see getting all the index of the element from the array. So if you have not watched those two videos, which is just before this particular video, then you should watch those two videos. If you are good to go, then let us get started. So the question is getting all the indexes of element in the array using recursion. Of course, we are solving the problems related to recursion, then we are not allowed to use any loop. You can read it is clearly mentioned actually. So we have to solve this question using recursion. Let me try to explain the question a little bit so that you can start thinking. So this is our previous explanation, and I want to mention one thing here also. If we can analyze this, I hope I'm assuming here you have already watched the previous solution of which is getting the last index. So here what we were doing, if you can see here, whenever we were going into deep of our array, we were not doing anything. You can see we are just going into that. We are just going into deep. But whenever we were returning from our array, we were doing some sort of question, which like we were doing some sort of statement. We have written some statement, which is like you can see before calling this, we are not doing anything. But after calling this, we are solving this particular question, which is we were checking if it is returning the index, yet it is returning. So, but why I'm explaining is we will do some sort of work here also while going into deep, and we will do some sort of work while coming from the deep of the array. Fine. So that was the main motive. Now let us get started. And I think I would have explained this concept in my previous video, but I actually forgot. But I'm assuming you are following the series. That means you are okay with that. So the question is, you have been given this array, which is 1 2 3 4 5 2 3. Let us write the indexes. 0. Why it is not writing 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, and x is again 3. We have the same input. You have to print all the indexes of x in array, or you have to return. Actually it should be written. I will make it correct. It should return actually. It should return all the indexes of x in array. Fine. So previously you were getting this 6. Now you do not have to return this 6. You have to return an array of all the indexes of 3, which is 2 and 6. So in this case your answer should be 2 and 3. Let us say you were having this input 1 2 3 4 3 2 3 9 3 actually. So in that case what you have to return? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So your answer should be this, an array containing 2 and 4 and 7, because 3 existed here, here, here. Your answer should return this. And now my expectation is, like I want you to try this question at your own. I know this is a bit difficult, like we have to manage the array, we have to return the array, but still if you can try this question at your own, and if you are able to solve it without watching my solution, then you can take this point from me that you are going to hit a very good achievement in your future. Fine. Because of course in the coding background, because this is not the easiest problem which an fresher or an beginner can solve. This problem is only solvable by some experience, but still if you are able to solve this question at your own, that means you are very good into the programming. So if you are done with your trial, then let me explain my solution actually. So again we will use our faith and expectation, but now we are little bit changing with our faith and expectation. We cannot rely on to that approach only. We have some other approaches also. Fine. So look at this particular expectation. What is given? We have been given this function with the idx. Initially idx is 0, you can see from here, and you have been given the array as well as you have been given the x also. Fine. So you have this function, you have been given this array which is index 0, arr and x which is 3. Fine, let us this is x. And what you have to do, you have this array 1 2 3 4 5 2 3. You have to return all the indexes of this array 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Of course, whenever your x is matching with the element, like here we have 3 and here we have 3, you have to return 2 comma 6. This was your question. Now let us try to approach it, how we will be able to approach. Now if we can see, look at this very carefully. Now from now we are changing our faith and expectancy mechanism a little while. So what we are doing, if we can remember, we were having this array 1 2 3 4 5 2 3. Fine. So what we were doing, we were going into deep and we were not doing anything. Fine, we were going into deep and we were not doing anything. But here, okay, I think we have missed one input and I'm sorry for that. We should have a counter also, and it should be a total element count or found so far. Found so far. Yes, found so far would be good. And initially found so far is 0. Like till now, how many elements you got? Fine. So this would be the index. I am sorry. This would be the signature actually. So here also we have to modify this. So this is 0, which is found so far. How many elements till now you got? So what we will do, while going into deep into the array, what we will do, we will check, is this element is equal to 3? Is this element is equal to 3? If our element is equal to 3, then we will increase this counter. We will pass this counter incremented by 1. That means, yes, we got our element, so increase this counter. Fine. So if you found this and so now your counter is 1, again you will move to here, move to here, move to here and move to here. At the end you also got 3. So now you will increase this counter to 2. And again you will make call, of course. Fine, because here is only your base case actually. So from here you have not anything. So here from here you will return. If you can remember the code for the last index, from here we were returning the -1. But remember this point very carefully. Now we will not return -1. Now we will not return -1. Instead of -1, we will return actually we will return the array of how much size? The total elements till now we got, which is 2. We will return an array of this size, because our intuition is, our thinking is, while going into deep, like while going deep into an array, we will count how many elements are actually existed in the array. But while we will returning from the array, then we will actually store the index for these elements. How? Let us see. So here when we reached to the base condition, we have returned the actually array of the total or this counter size. Fine. Because if we reach at the end of the array, that means we have got our total number of elements, how much elements would be existed into the array. So we will return this array, and again if we got here, that means we are getting our array of 2 size. But in the array initially we do not have anything. Initially, like this return this array which is 0 and 1. This is the index and we do not have any value here. We have only 0 0. But while coming from the deep of the array and to your original state, then we will check if this element was 3. If this was 3, then return the index for this. Not return, actually store the index of this element into your array. Fine. And where you have to store? You have to store, like till now what was your found so far counter? Found so far was 2. So you have to restore at this second index. So you have to store here. Again you will return this array. So you have returned this array here. You have returned this array here. Like now this is not 3. This is also not 3. This is also not 3. This is 3 actually. So if this is 3, at this point of time, what was your found so far? Found so far was 1 because you got this font so far. Fine. So at this point of time, if this is 1, so you will store the index for this 3 onto this position. Fine, which is 2 actually. So here you have stored 3 and here you have stored 2. Sorry, here it is 6. So if now your array is looking like something like this, 2 comma 6. Now you will return from here, you will return from here. So if you are onto the initial state, that means you will return this particular array. So this is the basic idea, and if you did not got this logic, it is totally fine. I understand. In one explanation, it is not possible to get understand, but let us write some code, then we'll analyze how this code is similar to this approach. Fine. Let me write some code, have patience. Let me write some code, then we will see how we are going to achieve this particular problem. So again, let us try to switch onto the full screen mode. And till now what we have, IDX is currently 0 and this is something what, 1 2 3 4 5 2 3. This is something like this, and X is 3. Font so far is also 0 because 0 is passed from here. You can see here font so far is also 0. Now we have to write the code. What we have to write, we have to check if the element on which currently we are standing, if that element it is equal to X, yes it is, then you do not have to do anything, you just have to return, or what you can do, you just have to increase your font so far by 1 actually, font so far plus 1. Fine. So if this was incremented, and by incrementing this, just make the call indices of array, and again IDX would be IDX plus 1 and ARR, because we have to search for the next element now, ARR and X and found so far. Fine. So yes, and this what it will return, it will return me the array. I will explain if you are not able to get it. It will return me the array of indexes. So IDX array, let me call it IDX array. So it will return me this. Now what I have to do, this code, like only these lines of code, what it will do, it will firstly compare this and then this, it will go like this. So this is the important point which I am going to explain. The code which is before the calling of the function would be executed while going deep into the problem, and the code which is written after the call would be executed after when we are coming back from our problem. So this code would be executed before this, and the code which I am going to write after the call would be executed after this particular, or while we were coming back from the deep. So what we will do, we will again check if ARR of IDX is equal to X. That means like you might be wondering why I have written this check twice. This is intentional actually. This code execute when we were going deep into the array, but this code execute when we were coming from the array. Fine, when we are coming from the problem. So that is why I have to write this question, like this particular condition twice. So here I will not do the same thing. Instead what I will do, if you can see here, suppose I was standing here, fine, and I checked, yes, this element was equal to 3, then I simply increase my font so far counter from 0 to 1 and again made the call. When I will be coming from the deep to this particular array again, because every element has to be visited twice. In the recursion, every problem has to be visited twice. This statement might be wrong, but in this case we have this statement true. So this element will visit twice. Why? Because we one which is while going deep into this array, and one is when we are coming from the deep from the array. Fine. So while coming from the array, if this element was equal to this, then you have to store the index for this element into your array. And on which position? This is also important. At which position you have to store. So initially your count, this found so far was 0. But when you saw that this found so far is equal to, yes, this element is equal to 3, then you have incremented this found so far 1. Fine. So but array is not like this. Arrays like indexes of arrays are 0 1. So if found so far is 1, that means you got only one index. So if you got only one index, in that case you have to store this index at the 0th position. If you got two index or two elements, in that case you have to store second position. So second position in the array, which is this 2 minus 1. Fine. I hope you got my point. So in this case I have to store the index, so it should be yes, the name for this should be idx array, and idx of found so far actually is equals to the index for which currently we are studying, because we have to just store the index. Fine. And this is 1 now. It was having 0, but here we have incremented this. So this is 1, but we have to store the index for this element onto the 0th index. So here of course I will have to make this minus 1. If you are not able to get this, then you should watch my array videos. Fine. So if this is the case, then simply, and after storing this particular index, just return the index array from here also. Don't do anything, just return the index array. And we are done. We have only base condition left, and base condition is very simple in this case actually. Base condition would be, I told you that in the type of the question which are related to arrays, in all the, like in the most of the cases, you will have to write the base condition similar, which is if you have reached onto this position here actually, in that case you just have to return from here. Fine. If you have, like if you came out of the array, so we'll check if idx is equal to arr dot length, then you just have to return from here. But I told you, you do not have to just return from here. You have to make an array of found so far size, base array actually. Let us call it this, not base, let us call idx array actually, of found so far size actually, found so far, and return that array from here. Because if you can see here, the return type for this function is integer array, so you have to return an integer array from here. Now our code is done, and let us see if we do have any mistake into this. We'll analyze. So let us try to execute this code, and what I have to do, let us try to decrease this font actually. Fine. So this is the code, and let us try to execute it. So input is this 10 20 50 40 25 20, and we are searching for 20. So output should be 20 is here also and here also. So there are 6 elements, so 1 and 5. So 1 comma 5 should be the answer, and expected output is also 1 comma 5. So as you can see, we are getting 1 comma 5. That means our code is working fine, and let us try to analyze this code, why this code is working fine. So now we have to analyze this code, and I want you to be with me while analyzing this code, because this is difficult actually. So we have this array 1 2 3 4 5 2 3. Fine. We can have dry run up to the same code with the help of stack also, but I'm intentionally not taking the use of stack because I want you to understand the problems of recursion in this way also. Fine. So currently we are standing here. As you can see, index was passed 0, like ARR is same, and x is 3, found so far was 0. Fine. So let us write these indexes also. So found so far is equal to 0, idx is also 0, and array is same, no change, and x is 3 in all the cases. Fine. So when we came here, then this is the base condition. This would be only true if idx is equal to 7, because 3 and 4 7 elements. So if we have reached onto the base condition, that means you have to return from here. So this condition will only be true at here. So I will not read this condition in each case. Fine. So now the code is executing from here. If ARR of id is equal to x, idx is this 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So ARR of 0 is 1 and x is 3, so it is not equal to 3. Then what we will do, we will simply make the call with the same this and this. Of course this index value would be incremented in each case, because in the next iteration we have to check for the next element. So it will simply make call to here. Fine. So here also this line will not be executed, it will simply check with this. So if ARR of 1 is equal to 3, no it is not, because idx is 1, so ARR of 1 is not equal to 3. It will simply make the call to here. Now we are onto this ARR of 2. If ARR of 2 is equal to x, yes it is, then what it will simply increase this found so far by 1. So found so far is not 0 now, it is 1. Fine. So at this point of time I am writing here also found so far is 1. Fine. So, and this is intentional, I will explain why I am writing here also. After incrementing this, it will make call again to the next index. We are now we are onto the ARR of 3. So if ARR of 3, which is 4, is equal to 3, no it's not, it will simply make the call. And in all these cases, found so far is 1. Fine, like found so far is not changing. Here found so far was 0, from here it is incremented. Fine. So if ARR of 4 is equal to 3, no it's not, it will simply make the call with found so far is 1. If ARR of 5 is equal to 3, no it's not, it will again make the call with the same found so far. Now it will check if ARR of 6 is equal to 3, yes it is, it will increase the found so far by 1 and it will make the call. So it will make the call to the ARR of 7, idx of 7 with found so far would, like here the found so far value would be 2. Of course only here the value would be 2 because here only we are increasing it. So the found so far value here would also be 2 and it will make the call to the base condition or to idx is equal to 7 with this found so far. So if we are onto the base condition, which is in this case idx is 7 actually, we can see here this is idx, this was idx and this was 6 previously. Now it is make the call again to 7. So this would executed into this condition actually. 7 is equal to ARR.length, yes it is, because ARR.length is also 7. So this condition would be executed, and look at this very carefully what we are doing into this condition. Found so far is 2. If you can see here, found so far is 2. So we are making this array of 2 size and assigning into this, and we are returning this array. You can see I am not assigning any values into this array. I am simply making the array and I am returning it. So it will return the array of 2 size with 0 values. Fine. 2 here, 2 ARR of 6. Sorry, idx is 6 actually. So now look at this point very carefully. Now our going deep process is completed. Now we are coming back from the deep. Now these lines will be executed. If you can see here, while going into the deep, none of these lines were executed, only these lines were executing. But after this call is done, then this line will be executed. So while ARR of 7 or IDX was 7, return this as this array 0 comma 0 of 2 size. Fine, this is 0, this is 1. So we got this array. Now what we are doing, IDX is 6. If IDX, ARR of IDX is equal to X, yes, ARR of 6 is equal to X, which is 3. Yes, it is. Then what we are doing, look at this very carefully. We are storing IDX into this index array. The array which we got, this was the array which we got. We are storing IDX, which is 6. Where we are storing found so far minus 1. Why this? Found so far is 2 and 2 is not the valid index for this particular array. So we have to store at this point. So index for this is 2 minus 1, which is 1. So here 2 like 6 would be stored. Like if you can, if I write here the index array, we were having 0 comma 0, but now we do not have 0 onto this. We have 6 actually here. We have 6. Fine. I hope you are getting this point. So if we have 6 here, again it will, after storing 6 into this array, it will simply return the same array. So this will also return the same array. So now again we are onto this IDX is 5. So what it will do, now we got this array actually. So in this array we have 0 comma 6. Now it will check if ARR of IDX is 5. If ARR of 5 is equal to 3, no it's not, then it will not execute this code. It will simply return this array. So it will simply return this array with 0 comma 6. Here also we were having 0 comma 6. Then it will check if this is equal to 3, no it's not, then also it will return 0 comma 6. I am not explaining again this concept. I hope you are able to get it. So it will check again. If 4 is equal to 3, no it's not. It will again simply return 0 comma 6, the array which we were having here. Fine. Now here it will check ARR of 2 is equal to 3. Yes it is. So if this condition is true, then what it will do? It will store IDX of found so far minus 1 equal to X. So IDX is 2. So it will store 2. Where it will store? Found so far minus 1. Found so far was here. Found so far was 1 here. Look at this. Here we were having found so far 2, but here we were not having 2. We were having only 1. Fine. So here we are having 1. So 1 minus 1, which is 0. So at this index we will store, like at this index we will store what? 2, which is the index of 3. 2 actually. Fine. Now this array would be modified to this value and this particular array would be written from here, which is 2 comma 6. Now this will check again. If this 2 is equal to 3, no it's not, then it will also return this, the same value, which is 2 comma 6. And if it will check if this 1 is equal to 3, no it's not, it will return the same array 2 comma 6 to the main method from where it was called. Fine. So this was the whole explanation, and it is written in the array here, and we are here only simply printing the values of the array. That is why we are getting the answer. Let us try to submit it. So we are getting our correct answer. So this was the code, and I hope I was able to explain you the code of this particular question, which was this was the code. It was getting the all indices of array, of element actually, from the array. So if you do have still confusion or any question, then do comment down below. I would be replying there. If you are directly coming here, then you should start from the basic of the recursion. Fine. So let us meet in the next video.